In this lecture, we will talk about advertising appeals. Let's think of advertisements that stick in our heads. What makes them so memorable? Is it only about the product being advertised, or is it how the product is communicated that makes it more memorable? The goal of an advertisement is to persuade customers, and advertising appeals intend to provide just the right hook. They are the persuasive techniques that stimulate a person to buy a product by speaking to that person's needs, interests, or wants. Advertising appeals are designed to create a positive image about those who use the product and additionally demonstrate how buying certain products may help consumers satisfy their needs. An advertising appeal refers to the approach used to attract the attention of consumers and to influence their feelings toward the product. Companies put a lot of effort into their creative advertising strategies and use various types of appeals to influence consumers' attitudes and purchasing decisions. In this lecture, we will focus on emotional appeals. Advertisements with emotional appeals try to evoke certain emotions such as safety, love, happiness, trust, fear, humor, reliability, pride, pleasure, romance, and so on. These ads intend to grab attention and foster attachment through evoking such emotions. They try to establish a bond between consumers and products and create brand loyalty. We will more specifically elaborate on fear and humor appeals and see examples of them now. Fear appeals focus on the negative outcomes that can happen because of an action or inaction. Fear appeals are used frequently for products ranging from insurance to home security systems or to deodorants and hair conditioners. Advertisers use fear appeals to promote an immediate behavior change, such as eating healthier, not smoking, and driving safely. Now we see an ad prepared by BMW to increase consciousness for the negative possible consequences of driving after alcohol consumption through creating fear by showing what can happen. Another fear tactic involves isolation. People will purchase a product to avoid being excluded by others, for example because of bad hygiene. Deodorant, toothpaste, or mouthwash ads often employ this tactic. In this ad, we see a negative consequence of halitosis, bad breath, in a humorous way. So different emotions were actually combined together. Fear appeals work when the recommended action is specific, effective, and plausible. For example, ads targeting smokers can be ineffective if the person does not believe quitting is within his or her reach. Fear appeals increase interest and are remembered more. However, severity and probability of occurrence of the negative consequence is important. Using moderate level of fear is usually the most effective tactic. Low level of fear might not be noticed, and too strong fear may backfire because the message may generate anxiety and viewers may avoid watching the commercial. Please remember the selective processes theory that we have learned in the previous modules and how consumers may decide not to expose themselves to specific communications. Humor is an excellent appeal for getting and keeping consumers' attention. Humor causes individuals to stop what they are doing, watch, laugh at, and then remember the advertisement. Humor appeals are very effective at creating emotional links between consumers and products. A well-executed humor appeal enhances recollection, evaluation, and the intent to purchase the product. There's a really interesting series of Lego ads that I would like to share with you. They were created by a French advertising agency for Lego's promotional campaign in France. There is a very clear message in the tagline: creativity forgives everything. The ads show kids playing creative games and getting into trouble. For example, in this ad, even though the boys are playing in the freezer, the ad implies that their mom will think they are still being creative, so they won't get in much of a trouble. As I said before, humor appeals offer a number of advantages. Humor evokes consumer interest. Humor increases recall and comprehension of ads. It elevates people's moods, and if people feel good about an ad, they tend to think positively about the brand in the ad. However, some problems may occur when humor is perceived to be offensive or when it overpowers the message. Using humor at the expense of one group may lead to resentment. Humor overpowering the ad means that people can recall the ad and describe it in detail, but cannot remember the brand being promoted. To prevent the humor from overpowering the message, humor in the ad should be closely related to and focus on the product. In the next lecture, we will continue talking on other types of advertising appeals.